We're back. You're listening to What's Working. I'm Cam Marston. We're in the studio today. I'm sitting across from Pam Denham. Pam is an expert in customer service, has a customer service business based here in Mobile, Alabama, where she delivers the tactics and skills to make sure the customers that are getting treated the way they should. Pam, thank you for your time. Welcome to What's Working.
Thank you so much, Cam. Happy to be here.
We have had conversations, you and me, around the world of customer service, what's lacking in our society today regarding customer service, how people should get the training that you and I are so passionate about. But let's begin on a broad conversation and define good customer service for me.
Good customer service really is always keeping in mind what customer service is, who your customer is. That's anyone that depends on you for a product or a service. Anyone. That could be your team player. That could be someone walking in the door. It could be a vendor, but always keeping that in the front of your mind.
So most of us, at least let me say me, when I think customer service, it's interaction that I get over a counter, let's say at a retail store, or from behind the desk as I go check in for a medical appointment, a doctor's appointment. You're suggesting it's much more broad than that.
I think it's really what sets a business apart when the team, the staff, management, leadership, ownership, when they are so aware of it just being a really good environment where it's focused on customer service with each other, with their team. When someone walks through those doors, they can tell the difference.
And tell me what the customer feels or notices when he or she are getting this stellar service. We obviously know the answer is good. They're getting something good. What more is it?
Bottom line, it's respect. It's that they are the number one focus, meeting their needs. That's the number one focus. There's a smile. They're happy to see them. They're grateful that they're there. And they're aware of this. They really, and it's really not that hard to do these things and be set apart from other businesses because so few people are aware of it.
Well, let's go through where this learning comes from. And I suspect there are people out there saying that customer service begins at home. Customer service begins in your childhood. If you mention respect, somebody needs to learn how to respect other people, which perhaps begins at home. Where are the fundamentals of this? I know you train this stuff and you train it well, but where are the fundamentals of customer service first learned to the average person that's standing behind a desk welcoming patients into their workplace?
Well, all I can say, maybe I can speak from my perspective, my experience. As a child, definitely raised to be respectful, show good manners, and always look them in the eye and smile and be in the moment. And so I definitely agree. It does start with being at your childhood and that experience. But what I have found through the years, it's been leadership. It's been my team that's influenced me. I've learned so much from people who have gone on before me and the difference in how they treat people. And those are the ones really are the most successful in what they're doing.
When you think of youth in our society today, we have a wonderful, I'm being a bit facetious here, but our society loves to bash the youth, and it's not just unique to our time, but we have forever. Kids these days don't understand customer service. If you could take, let's say, a 25-year-old who is in a very important greeter role of a medical practice or any sort of customer service environment, what do you think they don't know about customer service, and what do they need to learn?
Quite honestly, I think that they need to be taught what is in it for them, how they will benefit, how they will benefit, how the person coming in will benefit, an awareness that these customers and their team members, their boss, all of that moves them forward financially. They will receive lots of benefits. They'll have growth opportunities, and just showing them really increasing their understanding on what's in it for them.
Yeah. So what's in it for me is the radio station everybody loves the most. What about some of the skills that you feel like the next generation visibly lacks when it comes to customer service? What do you see?
I think verbal communication is really an area where they could use some encouragement and some training. Just understanding what's in it for the other person, how they're hearing them, being aware of this. I've always taught my daughters, when you write something, read it out loud before you hit send. Let someone else read it. So it teaches them to really think about what they're saying and that it has value, but they are understanding how it affects another person.
Give me an example of a before and after. Can you do this? This is kind of an unfair question. I haven't given you time to prepare for it. But before and after of somebody who is in a greeter role in an organization and after they learned the skills of customer service, what was the difference?
Well, what we found is that not only did we see a difference in their self-esteem, they saw the value that they brought to the company, and that really is what changed in the way they greeted people. There was an ownership commitment versus just being there for the day, checking in, checking out. When the business owner invested in those people that really are the moment of truth. They're the front. They are that first impression, which we know is lasting.
Well, I want to talk about first impressions. That's on my list. And I remember learning back in the day, there are like, and I'm going to make something up, 11 to 15 things that people see in a first impression, and it happens within a second or two. I mean, it's nearly instantaneous, the things that I see and make judgments on, and I know I shouldn't do it, but I do it anyway, make judgments on that are driven by a first impression. So I can walk into some place where I'm going to get customer service and make instant impressions on myself of whether this is going to be a good or a bad experience or not. Talk to me about first impressions. Talk to me about how important they are. And I think, and it's obvious to say, but I control my first impression. I have influence over that.
I love that.
Yeah, but tell me what that first impression should be. Give me a sense of what these items are that people need to know about.
Well, first of all, research has found that really you have about 90 seconds to make a lasting impression.
Lasting.
But attention span for the average person is about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So really, you have 30 seconds to make or break it. And I think a company that has invested in their people, invested in the environment, everything from the music to the colors to the smell when they walk in a business, all of those things, and their people, they're aware of how important, just as you said, to be prepared to make a really good first impression, that's always a priority because they know you get one chance to make a first impression.
Imagine someone's coming through the door of the studio right now. What am I noticing about him or her? Do you have a list of things that person is communicating as I see them for the first time?
Body language is huge. So that's one of the first things you'll notice before dress. Their body language, how they carry themselves. Research has also shown that 79% of people hear what you say by your body language. Mm-hmm. Only 7% by what you actually say, about 12% by the tone of your voice. Mm-hmm. So all of those things make an immediate first impression. So their body language is one. They have open body language, their arms are not crossed. They're looking you in the eye. They're smiling when they're talking, which is huge. People do not know why they like you, but usually that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a positive thing. And there's confidence when they're looking you in the eyes that they're trustworthy.
Interesting. So that eye contact is sending the message of trust. Yeah. The smile is sending the message of, you're going to like me. I'm a likable person. What happens? So I was at the orthopedist not long ago, walked in that door, and their first impression, people were all sitting behind a desk, and I couldn't see them until I got to the desk and actually leaned over the desk. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, actually, it's kind of funny that you say that because years ago I suggested with one large orthopedic practice that I work with that they have their front desk people actually stand up.
Yeah. And
smile and reach across and shake a hand, even if it's through a glass window slot.
Right.
But make that you are the most important thing to me today.
Yeah, yeah. I know COVID has put a lot of these glass partitions up, plexiglass partitions up. You know, in my opinion, it's time to take those down. Nevertheless, they're still up in many different places. But when that happens and you can't make the connection, there's already a barrier there. What is your advice to the person behind the barrier when they're in that environment?
All of those things we just talked about. Body language is huge. That's what they're, so a smile is the number one thing. They say it's like having endless money, and your smile is your checkbook.
Interesting.
And eye contact, smiling, nodding, body language showing that you're happy that they're there and that they have your full attention.
And I suspect that if many people were to see themselves videotaped on how they greet customers, patients, etc., they're tired. They're doing this job. They've got a lot of things going on that the customer, the patient in this orthopedic environment that I'm talking about can't see. And they likely get soft in their first impressions, soft in their greetings. Is there a way that you keep people sharp so that they're aware of, hey, you're getting tired, but that it still matters? This is still important.
Well, investing in your people, it's kind of like Sunday morning. You keep going back. They need to hear it again, that this is the culture, that you build that culture, that everything is centered around customer service, everything with each other, and really making them aware that your team, as a team, you are each other's customers.
Yeah.
You're depending on each other.
When we come back from break, Pam, I want to talk about technology. You cannot not acknowledge the role technology has played in customer service. And we're able to book appointments and everything like that, and I'm wondering where that fits into this whole conversation. We'll be back after this break. I'm with Pam Denham. We're talking customer service in our world today.